my friends, and welcome back to Yoga with Marcy. In today's mixed level class, the invitation is feeling. To be a human is to feel things. And how can our yoga practice support us in feeling ourselves, even just a tiny bit more, or even a whole lot more? Come find out. I'm glad you're here. Take your comfy seat if you're not already there. Yeah, you're here showing up for yourself, offering yourself a snowy Saturday morning practice. And we start as we are, sleepy, grumpy, defeated, awake, excited, neutral, however you are. That's where we start. And as you begin to let the upper eyelid be welcomed by the lower eyelid, and take your awareness inward towards the breath. Inviting interoception, which is that inward awareness. And one of the gifts of being a yogi or a yogini. And as you begin to move inward in this way, you can start to notice yourself more deeply, more subtly. And the invitation in today's practice is to feel yourself more deeply, more subtly. To be human is to feel things. It's a simple quote, a simple truth. And isn't it so amazing how hard that can feel sometimes, to feel things, or to feel things? And how much we can organize our energy to avoid that very thing. By getting very busy, by engaging in certain patterns, or something comes into our field and offers us something very overstimulating, and so something might just freeze in us, and then that makes it hard for us to be in our feeling place. So being in a state of feeling is being in a state of flow. And so we're just going to explore that today. How can yoga, how can certain universal principles of alignment, such as inner spiral, support you to feel more? And one of the gifts of slowing down is that we feel more. One of the gifts of letting go of pushing is that we feel more. Less is more really works in this way. So let yourself feel the breath move in you. What's the quality like? Breath comes in and it fills you. What does it feel like to be filled by breath? And what does it feel like to exhale the breath out? And how does that feel in the body? You may even just exaggerate some of the movement of the body ever so slightly, even like just an infinitesimal dose of the body moving with the breath, so that you can feel it even more. And as you do this, you may notice other parts of the body and how they're feeling. Like I just noticed my face. The skin of my face felt a little taut. I might have noticed a little tension in my forearms or a holding in my hands, for example. And this is the gift of yoga and interoception. Become more subtle with ourselves and what we're feeling. And simply bearing witness is already an incredible gift offering. Let's bring our hands together in front of the heart. And if you're like me, you probably did that very quickly. So let's back out for just a second to noticing what it feels like to have one hand receiving the other, and then vice versa, the other hand receiving the other, and meeting in the middle. Perhaps you feel the heat there, you can sense a little pressure. Notice the quality of the skin. Going back to the breath. We'll join our voices for 3 ohms. So letting yourself exhale fully. And a deep inhalation. Noticing how the sound of that om felt to you in your ears and in your body. I thought that was quite a magnificent mix of voices myself. And from here, let's get right onto our backs. Feet on the floor, knees bent. Something magical, even when there's a dissonance in the sound. It's like life. It's life happening in sound right here in the yoga room. Amazing. Oh. And notice what it feels like. I'm going to use that word again and again. You're going to be sick of it. To be received by the solid surface of the floor for just a moment. And notice if it felt good and your body just instinctively grabbed your knees. It was like, oh, that's what I want, and that's wonderful. All right, let's all bring our feet back to the floor. Bring in some pelvic tilting into the spine, keeping the back of the sacrum stays on the ground for this. We're just creating curve and then getting rid of curve. This is a really nice warm-up. Movement originates deep in the pelvis. All of our movement, it's where the upper body and the lower body come together. So let yourself move here and notice how it moves up the spine and all the way up, and your head kind of moves, the chest kind of moves, and then come back to neutral. Press into the back of the arms with bent elbows, press into the feet to slowly, slowly begin to lift the sits bones towards the sky, feeling the hamstrings engage, feeling the gluteus maximus engage. Keep a gentle curve in the back of the neck. Find this gentle bridge and feel free to move the hips around. Explore a little bit here. A little bit of improvisation. Maybe some circling and bridge. What? Circling hips and bridge, that's kind of fun. A little reaching, a little rocking. Just notice what it all feels like, and then we're going to exhale that down. And this time I invite everyone to draw knees towards heart. Rock around a bit on the sacrum. Sure, make a sound. Yeah. The different parts of our body have different sounds to make. What is the sound that your sacrum has to make right now? Yeah, exactly. Ah, my goodness. Yesterday, the crown of my head had a lot of sound to make. So it's just interesting what shows up. All right, let's take our strap, and we'll take right foot to sky with strap around the balls of the foot. And exhale, extend the left leg out. Walk hands up either side of the strap. Oh, everybody getting straps? We're doing right foot. It's a strappy moment. Missed that one. Okay. A moment to catch up. Oh, notice again just how nice it is to have this sturdiness beneath you, this steady, sturdy presence holding you. And then gently press the inner thigh towards the earth. Do it enough so that a gentle curve comes into the lower back. Good. Put a little bend in the right knee. As you walk the hands up the strap, back it off to melt the shoulder blades back into the earth. And then gentle pulsing as you press into the strap and begin to move that knee towards straight. Gentle pulsing. This actually activates earth energy in the legs. Good. Press and move as close to straight as you can. Check in again with the left thigh, and if it came unplugged, just anchor it in again. Take both sides of the strap into the left hand. Open the right arm to the right. Let the corners of the mouth raise. And then gently start to move that foot towards sensation. And when you feel sensation, let yourself feel it. Have the feeling of the sensation. Breathe into it. Pause for it. Feel it all the way. All the way. There's some gifts to offer you. And then see if it's time to go a little further. I'm going to cross the body any amount. Pausing for feeling. Allowing for feeling. And then come to wherever your edge is right now today. Active toes. Feel a gentle scissoring of legs towards one another. And then feel a melting in the thighs towards the back body. Just a gentle melting. And find some length all along the right side of the body. Yeah, and does the right side of the body have a sound to make? Inhale it up. Take both sides of the strap in the right hand, left foot to the ground, bent knee, open left hand to the side. Encounter your yoga stuff. And start to open the right leg to the right, left knee to the left. If you're coming into your partner's fly space, fly zone, make sure you have a permit. Permit to fly. Good, and enjoy this, feel this, stay with yourself here. Sometimes when feeling becomes too intense, we can abandon ourselves and abandon the feeling and move away from it, which is very instinctive, right? Especially if there's pain there. But what's it like to just stay with it? Stay with yourself. Stay with the sensation. And then inhale it up. Exhale, release it slowly down. Extend both legs. Feel how different they feel. Ooh, good. And then we'll take the left foot to sky, strap around the balls of the foot. Walk the hands up, melt the shoulders back. Awareness in the right thigh. Press it in to draw a tiny curve into the lower back. Imagine there was my hand pressing into your thigh and swirling it inward. Nice. Now active. The toes are active. Take both sides of the strap in the right hand, open left hand, and begin to move towards your first bout of sensation. It may come very quickly. Welcome it in, and breathe and move towards it. Let yourself have it fully, the feeling of that. And then when you're ready, take it deeper. Explore into this cross-body twist. Toes stay active. Nice. When you find an edge, the edge of where you're going to be, just gently draw the thighs in towards one another and then back. And see what happens all along the left side of the body, and maybe there's a sound. Maybe there's an involuntary sound that just comes out, or maybe it's something different. Yeah. Good, and when you're ready, we'll take that up. Bring the right foot to the floor with a bend in the knee, both sides of the strap in the left hand. Open the right hand out. And begin to open the left leg towards the left, any amount. No right or wrong here. Your body will tell you what's what. Breathing, feeling. And then inhale it up. Gradually take it down. Stretch both legs in. Take a moment to feel the two sides. And we're going to rock on our backs up and into Navasana, Ardha Navasana. So taking the knees or hands behind the knees, a few rocks. Woo, get it going. And then rock yourself right up to hello. Here we are. Cool. Active toes. Hands are here. See if you can let go of some of the grip. Nice. And now, see if you can take the top back of the sacrum and draw it forward. And the pubic bone drops down. And can we sing easily here? Can we let go and sing easily here? This is the row. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. And all right. Thanks for playing. And let's come on through. Nice and wide in the fingers. Move a little bit in a way that just feels good. You know, like what does your body want as you come onto your hands and your knees? So some gentle rocking in the pelvis. Good, and then coming into your version of cat and cow. I'm feeling like kind of making mine a little big today, this morning. Yeah. You do you. The invitation is simply to be with yourself so that you can feel what you're doing. And one of the beauties of yoga and why it's so good for trauma therapy is because we do it for a little while and then it ends. Right? And we know it's going to be over and we can withstand it. We can be resilient for as long as we need to be in this shape, and then it ends. Oh, good. And And when you're ready, let's take that right into the pose of a child with wide knees, taking toes together. Bring fingers, the hands up so you're on tented fingers. Rock out the pelvis if it feels good in micro movements. Nice. And then gently walk your fingertips towards the left, less than you think you would normally want to go for a full side stretch. Do less, and then focus in and draw back that right hip crease. And let yourself feel the stretch from deep within. Maybe there's a little more. But we're backing off from going right to the edge here right now to feel more. Okay, inhale, walk your fingers to the other side. Some people go right to the edge to feel something, right? Like, I think that's why folks who do like extreme sports do it. It makes them feel alive. But boy, maybe you don't have to go to an extreme to feel alive. Maybe we can feel alive in the subtle stuff. So let's draw that left hip crease back. Reach with the fingers. Oh, is there a sound here? And then inhale, walk it back to center. Come all the way forward and onto your bellies. Now we get to feel the sturdy support of the earth underneath us. And take hands to the sides of the rib cage. Hug the skin towards the muscle and the muscle toward the bone in the legs, just enough. Feel the pubic bone moving down towards the feet and up, and then root the tailbone. Keep the lower body engaged this way as we flow with 5 cobras. Inhale, shoulders to ears and onto back. Lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 1 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. So the muscles of the lower back probably got nice and engaged, and you can shake that out. And come to center, and we'll take both hands to the side of the body, palms facing down. Find a gentle center line hug, and then lift the right foot towards the sky. Lift the head. Maybe lift the hands. And exhale it down. Let that go. Shake out the tailbone. Wag the tail. And then gentle hug to midline throughout the whole body, but mostly the legs. Lift the left leg. And maybe the head. And maybe the hands. Reach through the foot and the crown and the fingers. And then exhale it down. Release that by wagging the tail. Oh, make a sound. Oh. Okay, gentle hug to midline. Now we're going to lift both feet. Lift the head. Lift the hands. Lowest lane. Flying. We are flying. We're looking down at this globe of an earth, this beautiful earth that we live on. And exhale it down. Widen the knees, take toes together, press it back. Pose of a child. Make a pillow for your head. And take a full breath here. Notice if your lower back is talking to you. Mine is. And then walk hands forward, tuck toes, and press yourself into a downward facing dog. Nice and wide in the fingers. Walk out your dog. A little rock and roll in the hips. Nice. Now look between the hands and walk your feet forward. Soften the knees, lift and spread toes. Find the breath. Let something go in the head. Let yourself drape over active legs. Inhale the heart forward. Draw the shins towards one another. Feel how the sits bones are wide. And then press through the feet, come on up. Touch that sky. And exhale your hands to the heart. Wonderful. Okay, how's the heat? Ready to turn off the heater?
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, there's the heat. Now that we're in standing. Great. All right, my friends. Hi. Hi, everybody. Hi. Hi. Okay, come into your feet and your breath. Notice just for a moment what it feels like to be in this body, to be this you that you are in this moment. Press through feet, inhale, hands high. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, heart forward. Press into the feet, rise up. Exhale, swan dive. Let something go in the head. Oh, make a sound. Oh, press into the feet, draw heart forward. Inhale. Press again into the feet and reverse swan dive yourself up. And one more time. Exhale it forward. Inhale, heart forward. Press through feet, rise up. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's take our 2 blocks to the front of the mat. You can have them on high or on medium. I just want those to be ready. Great. And inhale the hands high. Exhale, swan dive forward. Take your time. Draw the shins towards each other as you come down. Feel the sits bones widening back, finding that flow of energy, flow of feeling. Inhale, heart forward. And exhale, step back with the right foot into a lunge shape. You can bring hands onto the blocks. And pause and breathe. And then gently draw legs into midline. And now, taking the pubic bone down and back, feel a melting of the thighs and then rooting of the front sits bone down and under. Press through the feet, get long through the crown, and melt the space behind the heart. Soften right there. On the next inhalation, put a little bend in the back knee, lift the toes of the front foot to come into that front hamstring. Ooh, is there a sound coming from your hand? There's a lot of sound here. Sound, that's interesting. Okay, and then inhale, bring it forward. Exhale, draw it back. And if there's a sound from the hamstring, don't hold back. Inhale it forward. Exhale it back. Good. Inhale it forward. Plant the hands, step back, plank position. Feel strength in your plank. Let yourself feel your strength. And then feel a draw to midline. Feel the forearms draw to midline. Hold that draw as you come down, down, down. All the way down. Knees and chest or chaturangdasana, and then up and into a cobra. Do you need to back something off to feel this more? Tuck the toes under, press into the hands. Downward facing dog. Look between the hands, step the right foot there. Bring the blocks in. Simple lunge. Pause and breathe. And then draw legs in towards the midline. Melt that pubic bone down and back, just enough to feel a gentle melting of the inner thighs back. It can be super subtle. You can even just imagine it. And then root the front sits bone down and around. Press through feet, long through crown, and soften something behind the heart. On your next inhalation, put a bend in the back knee, lift the front toes, and let the hamstring make a sound. My hamstring is French. Inhale into the foot, exhale it back. Inhale it forward, exhale it back. Inhale it forward. And now step the back foot forward with an inhalation. Let go of something in the head. Good. Draw ankles and shins towards one another as you draw the heart forward. Take the hip points back. Reach and rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Yeah, good. We're feeling today. Yeah, if the shoulders need a little something, if the head needs a little something, like what needs a little something? Give yourself a little something. Ooh, okay, inhale, hands high. Exhale, forward fold, take your time. Is that because of the cat, Mariana?
I just have general allergies.
Okay. Okay. Because otherwise I'm going to feel like, okay, that's good to know, because then I'll just make sure to really clean the space before Saturday morning. But I should anyway, now that I remember that. To step it back, downward facing dog. Nice and wide in the fingers. Is there a sound from deep in the belly here? Yeah. Enjoy this shape. Enjoy the sense of lengthening in the spine. Enjoy the reaching of the sits bones. Maybe there's some gentle movement in the hips that you want to make. Inhale, right foot to sky. Reach through hands, reach through toes. And then exhale that foot all the way between the hands. Oh my gosh. Hello. Take the right arm inside of the shin. We did this last week. Let's do it again. Let's press and have that that muscular energy there, and then feel the melting. So there's a softening inward and an invitation to feel more that happens here. And then get long through feet and crown in this strange position. On your next inhale, turn the back foot to be parallel to the back of the mat and reach the hands at a diagonal. So as you press through feet and draw the hip points back, the sits bones back, you reach through with the fingers. Yeah. Nice, everyone. And then see if you can feel more. See if you can come into that pubic bone and just so gently, gently invite a deepening inward. And inhale to come around. Bring the blocks in. Soften the back knee and lift the front toes. Wow. There it is. Just hold it for a full breath. Good. And on the next inhalation, bring the front foot down, ground the back knee down, and reach yourself up for a little lunge. Press through the feet as you reach. Nice. Exhale the hands to the inside, and we're going to take this now into a gecko. Feel free to walk the right foot towards the right and take it to a diagonal. So we're going to reach again, and take your time moving into the reach. So instead of going right to where we normally go to, back it off a little bit and explore, well, what can I feel in this shape? What does this shape have to offer me in the realm of sensation? And what's the right amount? Good. Inhale to walk it back. We'll take the blocks on either side and come into Ardha Hanumanasana. Has everyone's hamstring already made all the sounds they have to make today? Yeah, I think we've worked some stuff out. Oh, maybe not. There it is. Good. And keeping this, bring weight into the left hand if you're on a block and right hand onto the right hip. A gentle draw into midline, a melting back of that pubic bone, and then a rooting. We're going to wrap this sits bone around as we come into a twist. Yeah, if the hand wants to come up, cool. I'm going to work in my shoulders very subtly here, and the neck, and not open my hand, because I don't want to crink anything, but maybe you do, and that feels available. Maybe it's available now. So feeling your way in. Inhale to come out. Move the blocks, plant the hands, step it back, downward facing dog. Woo! Ruff! Inhale to plank. Strength, feel your strength here. Really feel the strength that is yours. Drawing forearms towards one another and then keeping all of that strength as you come down. And up and into your cobra. And then tuck those toes and press it back. Downward facing dog. Now I have to remember what we did so that we can repeat it on this side. So inhale and lift the left leg. If I miss something, maybe you'll tell me. Press through the hands and really reach through the foot. And then exhale that foot between the hands. Good. What was the first thing we did? What did we do here? Oh, the arm. Left arm inside the shin. There it is. Okay. Thank you. Gentle press. Feel that squaring in the hips, and then melt the pubic bone down and back. Feel the gentle melting of the inner thighs back and widening the sits bones. And then the front sits bone roots down. Press through the feet, get long through the crown, even here. On the inhalation, turn the back foot to be parallel to the mat. Press through both feet, reach with the fingertips at a diagonal. Draw the hips back. Draw the fingers forward, pressing through feet. Easy in the breath. Yep, maybe there's a sound here. And when you're ready, we'll inhale, we'll walk it back around. We'll take the blocks. Bend the back knee, lift the front toes. Yeah. Good. Let the heart draw forward. Create space in the back of the neck. Good, and then exhale, drop the back knee down. Now let go of the blocks with a draw of legs towards midline to reach up. Let yourself feel in here if there are small micro movements in the shoulders you want to make. To give yourself a deeper access to this shape or feeling in this shape. Good, and then we'll exhale. Right hand comes to the right block. Oh no, did we do it this way? No, we're coming in now to Ardha Hanumanasana. Sorry, my brain this morning isn't holding the sequence. Getting lost in what we're doing, I think. All right, here we are.
It's fine, we don't notice.
You don't know, you don't? Really? That's good, that means you're in your yoga practice. Good. Give yourself a full breath here. And then pressing into the right block, take the left hand to the left hip. And take your time and gently draw towards midline. Draw the pubic bone down and back. Root that front left sits bone as you find your way into a twist. Twisting from above the navel, right side body moves towards left. And maybe micro movement in shoulders and neck. And then if it's available at some point, maybe the hand wants to come high. Just see if that feels right. Nice, and when you're ready, we'll inhale and unwind that. Root through the hands, step it back, downward facing dog. Yeah, look between the hands. Step, jump, float feet forward. Good, put a bend in the knees, draw ankles towards one another and shins. Inhale, heart forward. Press through feet, rise up. Exhale, hands to heart. So I want to do a twist with the wall as our partner. And I get that our wall space is weird in here, but I think we can have 3 people at the back, 1 or 2 people here at the mirror, and probably you over here. Yeah. So we want to be able to use the wall at the shoulder level. So go ahead and find yourself at a wall, or some semblance, something that acts like a wall. Good. And actually, we're going to start with our right hip facing the wall, and we're going to come into a lunge shape. So right foot is forward, right knee is bent. Nice. It's a little tricky, and it's okay if your feet aren't on a mat for a moment. It's all right. So you want to be able to hold yourself steady in the center and not be leaning into the wall. And you may have to adjust and get a little closer to the wall, because we're going to use the wall to support a twist. All right, so find your breath, and then gently draw the legs in towards the midline. Nice. Take the pubic bone down and back just enough to even feel or imagine a subtle melting, coming more into feeling. Nice. Root through the front sits bone, and begin to turn yourself to look at the wall. Maybe the right hand comes up. Right fingertips, maybe the left fingertips. Be careful not to lean into the wall. Keep your center. And then just work with this. The right front of the hip stays moving forward as you turn the left body towards the wall. Maybe the right hand moves and opens. And if that does, you can play there with that right shoulder and really get into that space. Pressing through feet, feeling into this twist. Can the heart lift? Can you micro move in ways to feel this more? Okay, nice. Inhale your way out. Whoop-ba. Do you like that? This is interesting to use the wall, right? You can access it very differently. Oops, sorry, my plant. Okay. You can see that I'm working on trying to help my plant to grow towards the light. It's amazing. It's amazing. Every day I come in here and it's just like all this stuff is growing towards the light. It's a real lesson for me. Okay, left hip looking at the wall. Bend the left knee. Come into your lunge shape, and pause and breathe. Breathe in the memory and remember that to be human is to feel things. So we're going to gently draw the legs in towards our capacity to feel. Gently melt that pubic bone down and back, just enough, even if it's just imaginal, to feel a softening in towards our capacity to feel. And then scoop that front sits bone down and under and press through the feet. With your hands on your hips, start to turn yourself to look towards the wall. And then maybe left fingertips come to the wall. The left front of the hip isn't not turning with you, it keeps moving forward. The twist comes from above the navel, the right rib cage turning towards the left, maybe both hands now. Maybe there's an opening of the left hand back, and if so, can you work with that even up in the shoulder? As you press through the feet, feeling that draw to midline, can the heart lift? Oh yeah, yeah it can. Good. Nice. Woo, and inhale to unwind yourself all the way. Shake that out. And since we're here at the wall, let's hug the wall. Imagine that you are hugging a sequoia, and your hands can't reach around it. It's so ancient and big. It's a beautiful ancestor. Okay. So keeping the right palm on the wall, take the left hand to the left hip and just start to turn your feet towards the left until you're feeling an opening in the front of that shoulder. Sometimes we do this lying on the ground. Press through feet, center line of body, heart lifting, and then back it off a little bit to feel it more. And trust yourself. Inhale, take the other one, right hand to the right hip. Start to turn your feet towards the right. Until you find sensation. The two sides may be different. Take that shoulder blade up and onto the back fully, and then you can play with that energy there. Back it off a little bit. Press through feet, find midline, get long, and then maybe the heart lifts. Ooh, inhale, unwind, and come back to the tops of your mats. Shake it out if you need to. That looks
Is that fascia that we're working on?
connective tissue for sure. Did you feel it? Yeah, especially if there's like this habit, right? And these shoulders are coming forward, or just the habit over time of being in a body that feels things and needs to protect itself, the heart, like this kind of thing. So to do this kind of can be kind of a big deal. All right, anyway, it's a precursor to where we're headed also. So let's come to the top of our mats. Feel your feet, feel your breath, feel yourself, and then inhale, hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Take your time. Enjoy this movement. Enjoy your hand meeting a partner's hand, and let something go in the head. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, step it back, downward facing dog. Widen the fingers, alive in the fingers. Soften the knees, take the hip points high. Get long in the spine, maybe micro-moving in the hips. And moving heels towards the mat. Yeah, feeling all the feels, all the places in the body that are working right now. Inhale the right leg high. Put a bend in the knees, stack the hips, any amount. Just feel into that. What's that like? Good, and exhale that foot all the way through. We're gonna come into a high lunge. So pause and breathe, and then draw legs to midline to stabilize and support you as you lift the upper body up. Take arms out and do it again. Draw to midline. Feel the gentle melting, even if it's just imaginal. The inner thighs back. Root through that front sits bone, and then lift. Micro play here to feel more. Open the hands wide, and now like the wall was there, start to turn towards your friend the wall in a twist.
Which direction?
Towards the right. Yeah. Ooh. Beautiful. Keep drawing that right hip forward so that the twist is coming from above the navel. Good. Exhale it out. Take your blocks. Bring the back foot forward a step into Parsvottanasana. Put a bend in both knees and do a little improvisation here. So improv movement. Anyway. Ooh. Good. And then we'll take the feet back to the mat. Draw Earth's energy up through the legs, into the pelvis, deeply to square the hips. Imagine the gentle melting of the pubic bone down and back, just enough, and then root the front sits bone down. Press through the feet like you're pressing on the gas on both of your feet and draw the heart space forward. Micro move. Back out a little bit if you need to make micro movements so that you can feel this more and feel yourself in it more. Wonderful. Let go of the blocks. Step the back foot forward. And put a bend in the knees. Give yourself a little bounce. Make a sound. Then we're going to step back with the right foot. And pause and breathe. And then draw those legs in towards the midline. Create stability to come up. All the way. Arms out to the side to begin. Pause. Find the breath. Remember that you are a human, and being human, to be human is to feel. And we draw in towards that incredible capacity we have to feel. Deepen the capacity to heal by drawing the pubic bone down and back, even imaginally, coming more deeply into that flow of feeling. Root the front sits bone down, press through feet, lift hands. And micro move in shoulders and neck to feel more, to be more. And when you're ready on the inhale, open the hands wide, keeping the front left hip right where it is, nice and steady. Right side of the rib cage turns towards the left. Imagine your wall there and how the wall allowed you to go deeper into this shape. Ooh, inhale to unwind when you're ready. Does anybody feel that in their left glute muscle? Mm-hmm. Yeah? Step the back foot forward about a foot. Ground it down. And then for a moment, putting a bend in the knees, just improvise. Improvisational movement. If there's a sound. Yeah. Good. And then draw Earth's energy up through the feet, up through the legs, into the pelvis to square the hips strongly. Lovely. And then back it off a little bit, enough to melt. Imagine the melting of the inner thighs back, the widening of the sits bones, and then the front sits bone curves down and under and roots, so you press through the feet. The heart space draws forward. There's a softening between the shoulder blades. Step the back foot forward to meet right. Put a bend in the knees. Let's roll up this time. So with a deep bend in the knees, let the tailbone start to roll itself down, to roll the upper body up. And touch the sky. And exhale, hands to heart. Ooh. How are we doing? We're moving kind of slow, but we're moving kind of deep. So I hope that that's okay. Inhale the hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, heart forward. Press through feet, rise up. Exhale, arms to cactus. Good. Feel the draw of the legs towards one another. Nice. Put a little softness in the knees and take the pubic bone down and back, and then root the tailbone into that space and let the heart lift to find a bit of a back bend. So the back bend is coming from the heart lifting up. Almost like it's the inside of the seed pushing against the shell to push through the shell to open towards the sun. Even though we're in a period of great dormancy right now in the winter. Those seeds are under there. Good. Exhale it out. Shake it out. All right, my friends. We're going to use our blocks, and we're going to come into a twisted Parsvottanasana. Sort of where we've been coming to. You may have already seen through all of my sequencing antics. Okay, so I would say blocks on high. Good. We'll step back. Let's start by stepping back with the right foot. So same shape that we did already. Take hands to the blocks. Breathe. Very active now in the legs, drawing earth's energy up and into the pelvis. It will square the hips. You can keep a softness in the knees even as you do this to find that squaring. Feel the melting, even if it's imaginal, of the thighs back and a widening of the sits bones, and then the front sits bone roots strongly. Heart draws forward as you press through the feet, press on the gas. Take the right hand to your left block. And you may want to move that block forward, back, or maybe it's just right in the right position now. To find stability, to maintain stability, lower body maintains all the actions that we just did, of the draw to midline, the melting back, and the rooting down. Now left hand comes to left hip. Draw the heart space forward as you press through the feet. Right rib cage is curious about what's going on the left, and it starts to turn. The front of the left hip doesn't move back, it stays steady. Take your time to come in. Do it for feeling as opposed to trying to get anywhere. So you feel your way in, and it might be a different expression. There may be less. Maybe there's less of a twist or less of something, so you can feel more. And maybe the left hand lifts, but it doesn't have to. Pressing through feet, finding your own expression here, feeling your expression, and then inhaling to unwind yourself. Woo! Take the feet wide, put a bend in the knees, deep bend in the knees, and maybe it can come into a squat. Or you can come all the way into a malasana. Feeling the hug to midline with the knees against arms, the dropping of the tailbone, the lifting of the heart, the ease in the breath. Feeling all of these things and knowing that we're also going to stop feeling these things in just a minute because we're going to come out. Okay, let's come out. Yeah. Let's stand all the way up. Reach around with the hands. Draw legs in, lift shoulders up, and open it back. That's it. Good. Ready to do the other side? All right, forward fold it. Hands on blocks. Step back now with the left foot. Just enough to your Parsvottanasana shape. Come on into your breath. Remembering that part of being human is feeling, drawing legs in towards that midline, drawing the energy up through the feet into the hips. Strong draw of squaring of the hips. Nice, gentle melting of thighs, just enough. And then a rooting of the front sits bone, just enough. Press through the feet, long heart space, reaching. Take left hand onto the right block and right hand to right hip. Keeping that stability that we just created in the lower body. The right hip stays where it is, and the left side of the rib cage above the navel starts to move towards the right. Keep pressing through the feet, drawing that length all along the right side of the body. Finding your way in, maybe less is more, backing it off so you can feel your way in. Instead of pushing your way in, feel your way in. Nice. And if at any point it feels right, you can open that right hand towards the sky. For me, this side is much less open and free to do that. So I'm going to keep my hand on the hip. Just keep working it more subtly, the rib cage. And then inhale your way out. Take both knees down. Sit back for a second. Yeah, move anything you need to undo that pretzel-y thing we just did. Roll back the front of the mat. Bring blocks to the outside here, outside of the feet. Whew. Hands on hips. Tuck the toes under and pause. All right. So I'm going to invite you into an Ustrasana shape, which is camel pose, but it's a less is more kind of thing. So I want you to feel your way in. Okay. So forget for a moment where you're going. Good. And breathe. Gentle draw of legs into midline. Melt the thighs back. And then strong rooting of the tailbone or drawing the navel towards the back. We need this. Now take shoulders up and onto the back. And like we did when we were standing, this inner seed that moves towards the seed holding, pushing into it. Maybe we'll take just the left hand behind you. And don't worry about it. Maybe you're going to reach that block. Maybe your fingertips touch it. Maybe that's just enough. And just opening, letting the heart move towards the sun and reach. Good. Inhale your way out. Just sit back for a moment. A little micro movement in the lower back, just in case. And then up we go. Tuck in the toes. Finding the breath. Feeling that gentle draw to the midline of the legs. A tiny, tiny melting of the pubic bone down and back. And a very strong rooting of the tailbone and drawing the navel towards spine. Keep that locked in right here. Then inhale, shoulders up and back. Let the heart begin to find its way. Pressing against the shell casing. Maybe the right hand finds the tip of the block. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe the left hand comes up. Less is more. Find your way in. Play. Feel. And then exhale to come out. Sit back. Maybe a little improv movement here, the lower back. And I'm just looking at the time, and it's time. It's time to get on our backs. Darn it, I have more. There's more. Less is more. Come onto your backs and offer yourself anything on your backs that would feel really good right now. So a little twist, a little happy baby, a little shoulder stand, a little bridge pose, like whatever would feel good, a little rocking, yep. Anything that feels good. A putting on of socks in preparation for being in Shavasana, for sure. Yep, any lingering sounds that any parts of the body want to make, need to make, must make, or just enjoy making. read you something. In just a second. So this comes from Pema Chodron, Awakening Loving Kindness. And I just simply love this. I love this for every day of my living life. But here it comes. The First Noble Truth says simply that it's part of being human to feel discomfort. We don't even have to call it suffering anymore. We don't even have to call it discomfort. It's simply coming to know the fieriness of fire, the wildness of wind, the turbulence of water, the upheaval of earth, as well as the warmth of fire, the coolness and smoothness of water, the gentleness of the breezes, and the goodness, solidness, and dependability of the earth. Nothing in its essence is one way or the other.